All right. Hey, hi Colorsmith, hi Laura, hi Hot Pockets, hi guys. Let me know if you can hear and see, just to make sure everything is working out fine. Yeah, I just had lunch. It was a bit late, and I still have I grabbed a cookie. It's the holidays. I can eat the cookie. I see in here. Oh yeah, awesome. The cats are being little brats, so I hope they won't be too annoying, but I might have to intervene. Hey, Eleanor! Hello! Hi all, it is 2:05 p.m. in upstate New York. Ooh, we're in the same time zone. I hope you guys had a nice holiday time. If you do something special at the end of December. Yes, I'm EST as well. Hey, oh, that's great. Fennel orange. Oh, that sounds lovely. Fennel is yummy. The cookie is good, but it's really dry. I was trying out the new recipe. Definitely need to we just finished having our last leftover from all the food I made. Oh wow. I was checking up on the cats because it's either two things. Things? Bleh. Either they're being really bratty and causing mischief, or they're being completely quiet. And both are both are not great signs. You kind of need to investigate in both cases. If the markers are wonderful and the colors are so bright, I'm glad you like it. That's awesome. Steve! Hey! I caught a kitty cat in the barn. Oh! Milk green and white cat. Call him Earl Grey. Aww! Went into the vet on Friday mornings. That's awesome. Is he doing okay? That's funny. My tea is an Earl Grey. Oh, that's so nice. On Monday he will be repatriated. Do you know who he belongs to? If he belongs to anyone, or will you just, just let him return to the feral life or the barn cat life, most likely? Sounds like my two boys. They are very mischievous and loving too. Don't soak him in hot water. What? He's not a mugwai. He's a farm employee now. Filled out the paperwork, neutered, and all his shots. He's good too. Oh, that's awesome! A new coworker. Some time ago, I was watching a YouTube channel of a guy that has a farm in Vermont, and he raises a bunch of animals, but he also has like farm dogs, farm cats, and he would make the distinction that like the farm animals are more like a crop. Ah ouais, Pico? Pico has opinions, and the farm cats and farm dogs are more like co-workers. And I thought that was really interesting because, yeah, how do you partition in your brain the animals that you know you're gonna have to harvest eventually versus the ones that are working with you? The cat distribution system did some good work again. Hey, Doodad, hi. Making tapioca pudding. Ooh. I shouldn't speak with my mouth full of cookie. Hold on. Alright, sorry. I tried a few recipes during the holidays too. It's always a time that I like to, try some things. So I had a couple of bags of frozen pineapple, which is surprisingly awesome, honestly. If you like pineapple, the frozen pineapple here that I can get is just like fresh pineapple, but frozen. So it's a whole lot tastier than the canned version. And I like to make smoothies in the summer, but in the winter it gets cold enough here that I don't really want to make smoothies. But I was like, okay, I gotta do something with these 3 bags because they're taking up a lot of space and they're gonna get all freezer burnt. And I made some sort of pineapple jam. And then I was like, oh, I have pineapple jam, and I want to try making some thumbprints cookies, but have coconut too in the cookies. And I made that, and it turned out really good. Those were really cool. I made waffles. Waffles are always a winner. I saw a cat in the thumbnail and I had to click, oh, it's one of my cats. The one that stole the other one's spot. So the other one is running around not knowing what to do with herself. And the turkey is trying to nap in the other cat's spot, which is kind of always what happens. I'm trying to think of a... Perhaps you guys have some insight on this, but what do you do when you want to work out some paint swatches? Do you just use a random piece of paper? Do you use a sketchbook? Is it your regular sketchbook? Is it a specific sketchbook for mixes? I don't know how to work that out. It took me a while to figure out how to deal with my sketchbooks. And yeah, the what you see in my sketchbooks now with the swatches and the demo paintings and all of that, I think that works out, but I haven't figured out a good way to deal with all the color mixing research. Maybe some sort of cheaper cellular sketchbook, but the problem with the sketchbook is that you gotta wait for the pages to dry before you can flip them. So it's not really conducive to swatching a lot of colors in one session. Maybe this one. This one I can kind of remove the pages, but yeah, it's more like multimedia. It's not the super thick paper, though who cares, but junk sketchbook. Yeah, kind of a junk sketchbook. I make a sweet coconut rice pudding every year, and I've always wondered about doing a tapioca flavored one. The only tapioca I've eaten personally is the bubbles in bubble tea. I don't have a sketchbook for swatching, but I use individual sheets of Bao Hong Academy paper. Ooh. I'm still jumping around my sketchbooks. They're halfway full. I just rip them out. Oh. I don't do good with sketchbooks anymore, so I don't bother. I tore through so many. What do you guys mean tearing through? You just rip off pages? For this one. If you don't like the sketchbook, yeah. Just gonna rip off a few pages. I do, and it was a waste for me, so I just buy blocks of paper now. Or pads. pads of tape watercolor paper. I don't think this one is cotton. Oh, no, it is supposed to be cotton. It's supposed to be. Hey, Yuri! Hello! How are you doing? Maybe you could get a big roll of paper. The issue with big rolls of paper is you need the space to be able to roll them out and cut them, which is not easy. And also, the paper tends to stay quite curvy. Unless perhaps if you know, soak it and flatten it the old school way. But otherwise, the rolls, they tend to be a bit of a hassle. I have another tab open with the potentate review. I did a few swatch with this one. I am working with limited space. Ooh, this Earl Grey tea is amazing. It's one that Otto sent me. There's something extra in it, but I can't remember what it's supposed to be. Good stuff. I can't chat much as I'm pinning more tiny cats. I keep forgetting to do something for that contest. I'm probably not going to be able to make it because I keep forgetting. I hate that. I'm doing good. Been working on my OC. Oh, awesome! Great news! Hey, Elena! I don't know if I said hi, but hi. Melissa! Hey, long time no see. Hi! But yeah, so I tried the Potentate pad I have here. And I think it's the cold press one. And I kind of like the back of the paper better than the front of it. Like the paper texture on the front looks better when there's paint on it, in my opinion, but the back of it is kind of smoother and nicer. So that was weird. This is a big palette for how much space I have. I have a small one. Smaller palette. might have to go really small and get some extra mixing space. Do I have some in here? Did anyone get any new art supplies for the holidays? Ooh, good question. Yep, but waiting at home some Roman small planes. Oh, lovely. Any, like a bunch of colors or a specific set? I've yet to buy any and I'm now waiting for a sale. Ooh. I'm planning on ordering a glass dip pen set with, ooh. Oh, that's nice. I've always wanted to try them. Ooh. I hope you like them. Alright, and then I need a kind of scrappy brush. Not that big. Alright, you guys can see my little paper. All singles. Ooh, ooh, that's exciting. Not ideal, but paint gets swatched on whatever paper is closest to. I might actually even use the back of an envelope when I get a new tube in the mail. I just have to see it. I know that feeling. I have a bunch of scraps of papers that I use when I'm swatching while painting. But otherwise, I try to organize my things just a tiny bit because there's always a possibility that I'll have to reference stuff later on for a video or something. So it's a bit difficult to just wing it sometimes because I'm like, oh, I have to be a bit more organized. So I have a palette here. Useless. It's a metal Holbein palette, and it only has 3 colors in it. A cerulean blue, or is that? Oh, I think that's the color from Da Vinci. They're a manganese blue mix color. And then I have Potter's Pink, and then I have, I can never remember the name, because they named it something that has a bunch of overlap with other color names, but it's the Granulating Yellow from Winsor & Newton. So I have these 3 in there, and part of me wants to eventually clean up this palette. But also, I got to try some of the some really fun granulating colors recently that are mixes, and I wanted to try if I could replicate some of those mixes because the colors they're from Kusakabe, which is a Japanese company. You can almost only find it like in person if you go to Japan, or buy it on Amazon Japan, and it's really expensive. So I'm like, can I kind of make do with what I have on hand? I have the colors here. A friend got them, and they very kindly made a dot card for me. So it's the other 12 Harmonia colors. And they have such interesting, vibrant, granulating colors in here that I'm like, oh, you're talking. This one is a bit shimmery. It's really pretty. Then the Caribbean Azul is just so pretty. But I don't think I have any paint that have I don't think I have any PV14 paint. And then if I can sort of scooch down a bit. The lime sparkle is really cool, and this one I might be able to mix it because I have the two colors that go in there. The gold citrine, maybe I have these colors in my Roman Schmal range, the PY 216, maybe. The Fairy Conch Pearl is a beautiful color, not too hard to replicate either, because it's basically the same mix as this next color without the white. And if I was to replicate this color, I would just create this one, and if I need it to be super light, just add more water. You know, the basic. And then one is the same granulating yellow with PV19. Then this one I really quite like, but I'm not sure I can replicate it because of the PV15. And yeah, the other colors are all really pretty, but I was really curious to see if I could mix the vibrant ones more. Because we have a lot of selection if you want some more muted granulating special effect paints, but if you want some vibrant ones, that's difficult. I might have to dig out my corsets. Corset. Rather than this one. I only have Winsor Newton's Potter's Pink and I love it. I don't think any Potter's Pink is terrible. I think my ultimate favorite is a handmade one. The handmade ones tend to be a lot more pigment loaded and intense. But I think the Winsor & Newton one, you might be better off either buying their pre-made pan if they have it, or getting the tube but leaving it in the tube until you need it. If I remember right, this is Schminke's. And I really like Roman Schmal's, but yeah, it's in a pan, so if you need a tube paint, that might not work out. Hey, Hippopotamus! Hello! Do you prefer to be called Hippopotamus Bosch or Hippopotamus Bosch? Yeah, PY 159, that's the granulating yellow. Schminke has it, and alright, that's dead. Alright, sorry, Schminke has it. It's their volcano yellow, but it's not the prettiest hue for this pigment. The Schminke one tends to be a bit weird because the way it separates, it becomes kind of two-toned on its own, but it's not a nice two-tone. The granulating element of it is sort of a slightly like bright acid yellow, but the sort of undertone of it is really gray, so it doesn't make for a very pretty color in mixes because of that gray undertone to it. The Winsor & Newton one is a lot more clean. Sorry, that was a really long ramble, not to say a lot. I have Winsor & Newton's Potter's Pink, just ordered it too from Primary Blue. Ooh! That has potential. I hope you'll like it. Schminke and Roman Schmal both. I use it from the tube. Yeah, that's the better idea. No, Renaissance Polska Potter's Pink is so goopy. What did I don't think I recommended that one. Did I say? I meant Roman Schmal. If I said something else. Josephine, hi. Hello. Hola, bonjour. Bonjour to you as well. All right, what was I doing? Besides fixing a dry paint. What's in this one? So I would need the. I'll get there. I'll get there. Ah. Hold on. This way. So the one I want is this one. Whew, sorry. I have to check what this one is. It's the Countess Grey from Fortnum and Mason. And Otto sent it to me a bit ago. It's really good. Don't get Daniel Smith's Potter's Pink, it's disappointing. If I felt sassy, I would say don't get anything Daniel Smith, but I know that's not entirely true. They have a lot of good colors. Though I wouldn't, if I, let's say I didn't have any issue with the company, I would say that all of their colors that are made with pigments that are known to be hard to re-wet, like Potter's Pink, Green Earth, even the French Ultramarine, some earth tones, I would possibly avoid getting those from them just because they dry really hard and they sort of unglue themselves from palettes, and I don't like that. What is the pinkest Potter's Pink? Very good question. I think Roman Schmalz might be a bit pinkish. But about stuff like that, if you are curious about the varying hues of a pigment, check out Lana's website, sunandcolorsaltogether.com. She has a lot of swatches and you can search by pigment. So you might be able to see a selection of swatches from the same pigment and access all the info there about those paints, and that might help you figure out which one is better for you. I actually had a dream about Potter's Pink recently, and it's my need to read. What was the dream about? Wait, what's wrong with Daniel Smith? Oh, their CEO is a bit weird. To make it a very brief story. In advance, I wanted to wish you all a Happy New Year. Oh, thank you so much, Josephine. Happy New Year to you as well, and to everyone. I have used many of your recommendations over the past years to gift the local art students in my local jurisdiction. I understand they have been... Oh, that's lovely! Well, I mean, you're the coolest in this story. to go to those lengths to make sure that the kids have art supplies. That's amazing. Oh, I didn't know Kusakabe had a Potter's Pink. Ooh. Oh, I've heard it's strange too. I just hope not in the way that I'm thinking. It's nothing creepy. It's just unpleasant. Like he's not being very nice to people in the community. At times, there was a bit of a kerfuffle. I have a video on it from a few years back. Oh, was it before COVID? Was it that long ago? Ah, what is time? I suspect Kusakabe uses optical brighteners. I mean, most of them do, to be fully honest. A lot of companies do. It's not necessarily a bad thing. You'll find optical brighteners in a few paints from Daniel Smith too. Like, it's not necessarily a bad thing. And I know that Kusakabe has a few neon colors, so you know for sure that these have something glowy in there. But most of their regular paints, the regular pigment ones, they're really just quite nice. They're a bit like a Holbein, and I don't really think I've seen anything from Holbein that had optical brighteners in it. The neon colors will always pick up some of the the UV and be reactive, but that's just the nature of the neon dyes. You cannot really work around that. If you want to have neon in your paints, it's gonna glow. But the optical brightener is not something that is, unheard of. That's unfortunate. Yeah, it's a bit of a Stuart Semple. Gold is gold, ruffles some feathers. Oh, I haven't heard about that one. What happened? Just a call in my mind, and I knew what it was when I woke up. That's like in my. Oh, that's so funny. Apparently, I do dream in color. You do, and color is singular, not even colors plural. Oh, that's so funny. Let me grab my swatch card too. Okay, so I'm working excessively slow, but what I'm basically doing is when I want to like play with a mix of colors, I will often do a little sheet like that where I have my base pigment, but I also try to paint a swatch of what I'm trying to get to so that I can reference it on the same sort of sheet. I have a pen somewhere. World Pigment Day pre-attack for all the hot gossip. It's a bit it's cold gossip by now, but yeah. I recently watched a video review the golden gold acrylic paints, and upon checkout you have to confirm that your purchase will not make it sweet. Oh, the gold is gold from Stuart Semple. That guy is really looking to make drama, isn't he? He kind of thrives on it. And I mean, I've tested the paints and they're not amazing. I mean, that's already kind of close, isn't it? Try to make one that's extra juicy. Well, that wasn't really difficult. Oh. Box of paint, hello. I hope you've had a good week too. I got suckered into a few Stuart Semple products and not as... Yeah, I mean, they were kind of really lackluster. He had his fake beef with... oh no, my brain is blanking out on the name of the guy. Regarding the the neon pink, the pinkest pink, or was it the blackest black? Anish Kapoor. Okay, so what's this one? Yeah, I think his paints are expensive and a bit hype, but oh well, I just thought it was odd that the reviewer mentioned it. Yeah, it is weird. What's his beef with Daniel Smith? I'll have to look into it. I expect it to be really underwhelming, but I'm curious. Yeah, the primitive controversy. That was there was a much more elegant way to deal with the whole thing, and it's not what happened. I got a bottle of Black 3 a while back, and acrylic gouache was better. I mean, I don't think there's anything that that guy sells that is better than formulas that companies have been making for years. I would much rather go to a company like Holbein, Golden, especially if it's acrylic, Liquitex, even a more student brand like Talent's Amsterdam paints, because they've been making those for years and years, and you know they have it all like tested out and it's all good. Whereas Mr. Sample is not transparent at all regarding where he gets his stuff made, and his palette looked just like a white label Sakura paint palette with a different box around it, you know. I got a bottle of Black 3. Okay, it cracked, it was streaky, it flaked. Ew! And it's acrylic paint? I'll send you the link to the video I watched. Thank you so much. We're talking about Vanta Black is a real thing. It's a separate thing, I think. But there was a bit of I don't remember the whole drama. It was so how can I say this? What's the word I'm looking for? The whole thing felt so much of a reach. You know, people having some sort of beef about colors because I mean, if okay, you get the promo, you get the you get people talking about you, good for you. But also it's kind of a like at the same time you're not doing any art really, so I don't know, it's just not my cup of tea really to create this level of nonsensical drama. I'm gonna try to that mix of the PG7 and the yellow, the granulating yellow. I'm just gonna label it as PY159 because, like, you know how Winsor Newton likes to put Winsor in the name of colors, and they have quite a few yellows that have lemon in the name and a few colors that have deep in the name, and I think this pigment is like Winsor lemon yellow deep or something like that, and I'm just like it's too much of words, sorry, too many words that are used in other color names without any kind of easy way to figure it out, so I like to call it the granulating yellow. That one. Saying handmade paints at the exact moment a machine mixing the paints. So, what? That's from Stuart Semple? There's no way those paints are handmade. No freaking way. Oh, no, 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 no. Unless he did the 180 since I've reviewed his palette. I'll send a photo of the test canvas on Discord. Oh, sure. I'm really curious to see. So I'm pretty sure I have a... Oh, do I? Do I? Phthalo green blue shade, yeah. The good old phthalo green BS. That's my phthalo green BS. The watercolors are terrible. Cutman's, I'm impressed by Cutman's. I've tried a few of their palettes lately and they were so much better than I remembered. I don't know if they had a dip at some point and have recovered a bit, but yeah, they really aren't that bad. They always have colors that for me and what I like to paint are problematic. I really don't like their sap green. The hue is beautiful, but the paint itself is... ugh. It's really weak. I don't know why. There's no reason for the color to be this weak and like... It has that kind of goopiness to it. It's just not a pleasant color to use. I think my mix needs more yellow in it. More yellow! More cowbell! Oh, that's a bit too much yellow. I'm still struggling to get on Discord. When I try to sign in, it wants a code. To get the code, I need... That's weird. There was a pink and a purple that just had 0 tinting strength. Cutman are better than I remember as well, but they cost far less for all the colors. The Stuart Simple set, like if it wasn't that expensive, I might have less of a beef with it. But it's really expensive, and there are 0 pigment info, which, like, I think we can all agree that to be able to call your paint set a professional paint set, you have to provide pigment info. If you don't provide pigment info, it's not professional paints. And that's me saying that as someone who really doesn't care when I paint about the pigment info, but I feel like it's sort of part of the deal. If you want to label your thing as good for the expectations of a professional painter, you have to provide a bit more details about the way you make the paints and what's in it. Oh, that's pretty close. Yeah, that's close. Huh. Okay. So I guess that Kusakabe uses the good granulating yellow instead of the weird one. Hey, Dawn, hi! Oh, happy belated Christmas to you too. Nothing turns me into Hyde better than being stuck in a technology. I recently ordered some neon paints from Temu. Did I get neon paints from Temu? I don't remember. I know I got some shimmery paints from them and they are really quite nice. I can't vouch on anything like light fastness and all of that, but visually and in terms of like the experience of re-wetting them and using them, they worked really well. Quite like them. Just avoid made for the Chinese market, especially gouache. It's not the same quality. It's not intended for the same use either, so... Fun fact, I mailed a few times with the Stuart Sample team about pigment info, and they wanted to release the pigment info in a few months. It's like for you. Sounds about right. Very good. Got some Crayola paints that I'm having fun with. Oh, that sounds like fun. All right, so let's try another one, I guess. PR188. What? Forgot to look into it. I don't have any PV14. I don't think so. I think I have 15 and 16 in that palette, but well, I can try with the... Do I have a PV19? Yeah, I do. I can try this one. The Cranberry Punch. Yeah. I don't think... Oh, there's not any mods. Oh, hold on. Give me a sec, guys. What I do? Just need to find my cursor. Ah, there it is. What? Hold on, that's silly. I'm just trying to get a Discord link in the chat, and it's being really stupid. Dude. That's stupid. Oh my gosh, that... What a stupid freaking thing. Are you kidding me? Oh, it's being stupid. It's being really stupid. Well, there should be a link in the description anyway. But yeah, if I try to copy, it says like you saw, it says, oh, the link is hidden. Press the copy button. And if you press the copy button and you paste, it just pastes the text. Hidden press button. Take down. Sorry. Hey, Idillo, hi. You shouldn't be banned, Lena. But I don't think I have any mods on this channel. Hey, Lyra, hi. I could copy the link for your Discord. Are you able to? Okay, I technically have made Lana and Bucks moderators just for simplicity. Got a good crack crew in there. We do. All right, so I also wanted to talk a bit about the year that is finishing currently, and a few thoughts I've had about the channel, and yeah, maybe you guys will have insight or not. That's also fine. But yeah, I was thinking, seeing as how it seems to be doing relatively good, I might move the live streams back to the main channel. It used to be that I kind of had to put them on a separate channel because it would just mess up my analytics. And analytics are like the only tool we have to kind of... It's really interesting and really useful to check out the analytics if you want to sort of figure out how to manage your channel. And having live streams on my main channel was like making it really hard to figure out. So that's why I had the separate channel for them. But seeing as how it doesn't seem to be messing up with my analytics as much anymore, I might move them back here. So that's one of the things I'm considering doing. Hey Phil, hi, hello. I feel like I just got tricked into joining. I mean, you don't have to join if you don't want to, really. There's no pressure. But everyone is welcome, definitely. So another thing that I'm thinking about doing for the next year is to perhaps focus more on videos about watercolor and maybe have some sort of teaching videos somewhat, where I can share some of my tips and tricks. And not that I am any kind of very professional or amazing painter, but there's a couple of things that I've picked up over the years, and also things that I learned when I was working in animation and studying animation for like composition and how to build an image and that kind of stuff. So I thought maybe that would be interesting. And I think that videos that are focused around learning and teaching, they have a good audience on YouTube. Whichever channel they end up on, we'll find it. Oh, yeah, I think they fixed the algorithm now for streams as they're not counted as normal videos. That's a very good point. I think you're right. I really like your art, so aw, thank you. Your live stream is my favorite to be a part of, so I think having it back under your main channel is a good idea for me. Thank you. I really appreciate the feedback, truly, because how am I supposed to know otherwise? Exciting, we love to watch them. I agree, I love to see more of your art process. I usually don't watch YouTube live streams, but yours I really like. Thank you so much. You're awesome at that. Thank you, Lena. It's just difficult because it's not like I didn't study to be a teacher. I studied graphic design, and that was a thing. And then I went to study like cartoon animation. But yeah, I really like painting, and if I can, you know, make content that also bring other people to enjoy painting, it kind of feels like a win-win. And also a new thing that might help me for the coming year is that I finally got some medication for ADHD, which might really help me in, you know, making videos that I have to work on for longer periods of time, because I really struggled with, let's say I would want to make a more of a complex video. I would get started on it and be focused on it for a couple of days, but then on like the third or the fourth day, if I'm lucky, I would wake up and completely forget that I was working on that and go on a different tangent that has nothing to do. And then I would sort of remember a few days later that I was trying to get something done. And it was just, it was really, really difficult to keep a, let's say, a week-long project, to work a whole week on a video and get it done. I would be all over the place. So I think that this might provide me the resources and the tools to be able to do better with that. You do make pretty cool cats with grit. Oh, thank you so much. We're here. Oh, you guys. You're way too kind. Teach me how to do backgrounds. That's one thing, that's one video that I've had in mind for a really, really long time, but I was never able to sit down long enough to get to it. But yeah, it's about, you know, little tips and tricks and very simple things you can do to a background to make it more interesting. If if you guys, I don't think I've mentioned it before, but there's a kind of a composition that I see often, and I like to call it the black hole composition. And I'm trying to find a scrap of paper, but it's kind of when you draw and everything, every element points toward the vanishing point for a single vanishing point perspective. And I mean, it technically it works, but it's not super interesting for the eye. And I've been wanting to do a video with tips and tricks to make that a bit more jazzy, a bit more interesting. But yeah, I would sit down and then be distracted almost automatically. So what do you do for a living? At the moment, I'm mostly doing YouTube. It's not enough to do a living from, but I used to work in the animation industry. I did a few different tasks in there, and then I got kind of a burnout of sorts, and yeeted myself out of there. And it was a bit of a struggle, but I think I'm starting to figure things out now. Feeling a bit better about it. I've done the test, the interviews, had to drag family into meetings, and next week. Oh, they come back. Oh, awesome. Oh my gosh, Lena. I received a late diagnosis of ADHD is the what's that one? And the right medication. Seriously. I'm sorry, everything is heavily planned. My my schedule. But see, I was trying to plan things, and I did try a whole lot of different ways of planning, either online, either analog. Like I've, and I would like keep up with it for at most a week, and then I would forget about it, like as if it never existed. And it's just really difficult because it's not a conscious thing. If I forget about it, I cannot force myself to remember it, you know? I have an amazing army of cats guarding my studio. Yeah, you must have quite a collection by now. Makes it easier when I do monthly challenges. I now realize how planning things and writing things down is very helpful. I'm making mental notes, guys. That's super helpful. Love routine and knowing what's happening next, but I can make a list all day and completely... Yeah, that. Oh, it's autism spectrum disorder. Okay. Huh. See, for that one, I've been more exposed to the French name for it, I think. Whereas for ADHD, I was more exposed to the English abbreviation for it, or what do you call it when it's just the letters? Right now, I'm super proud of me planning 3 weeks. I need a passkey or a Discord auth code. What? And getting that diagnosis after years of trying to understand. Yeah, that's also a big part of it. That's a good idea, Val, to look into it because it will really help you. Everyone is different. I am a planner. Some people are not like my husband. He's spontaneous. It drives me crazy. I don't plan anything on YouTube. I do write down my ideas. Next Saturday is the move. Ooh! Yeah, there's a couple of things that I've been able to implement at work. For example, if anything happens, sorry, I write it down in the calendar app. Because that syncs between my phone and my computer, and I can sort of be more less stressed about it because I know, like, if I have a doctor's appointment, I write it in there right away. But yeah, that's convenient because I can't hide it. It's always there, and I can, though I do forget about it regularly. I might go weeks without checking it, and then I get a panic attack of sorts. Not a real panic attack, but you know, that sudden realization that it's been weeks since you looked at your calendar. And I try reminders on my phone, but after a while they become part of the scenery, and I just don't register them at all anymore. I just see them, and it sort of means nothing. And I need a lip balm of sorts. So yeah, it is a work in progress, but at least I'm kind of seeing progress. Also, I've been taking the medication for ADHD for like 10 days, so I gotta work with it a bit more before I can fully see how it works on me. Phil, how you keep track of that massive watercolor collection of yours is beyond me. Lyra, thank you for the idea of watercolor paper scraps with name tags for presents. My parents adore them. Oh, awesome! Yay! I do feel some frustration with getting a diagnosis true. I mean, Val, you gotta choose the lesser of, like they say, the lesser of two evils, though no evils in this case, but you can like, I don't think there's as much ostracization that happens anymore. And but I'm like, if anyone mistreats me for being, oh yeah, exactly, you got it. You got it. That's the thing. It's not, whatever other people think is not worth you being able to be happy and functioning. Speaking of annoying appointments, I just love labor. Oof. It was amazing. That's awesome, Don. Let's go finish that sketchbook. Have fun. Yeah, you're technically the same person, but you kind of just leveled up in a way because you can now function better. It's like the new and improved version. Right, is there any other mix that I can sort of replicate right now? Oh. Not really. The diagnosis doesn't change you, but it will change how you can get support and services. And it will also relieves a lot of pressure on you. Because for a lot of these neurodivergent issues, you can sort of take it onto yourself and think it's your fault, but it's not. And having this confirmed that it's not your fault is really freeing. It's really, really nice. Because you're like, oh, preach. I keep getting asked why I'm going through this now, and number one, to get answers, and number two is to see what help is available. Yep. Now that sketchbooks were mentioned, what do y'all do with sketchbooks with paper you dislike? I tend to use it for swatching. Like, you know, when you're painting and you just want to quickly test out the color before putting it on your painting, I often use like whatever paper for that. Do you know about a friend's diagnosis should help the people? Also, do I know that? Well, I haven't been taking it for very long, so still a lot of to figure out, but there's been a few like key elements that I've seen a difference, and it's been really odd. The first day I took the medication, it was so surreal because it was like as if everything had finally slowed down a bit in my head. You know how they say that it's a bit like having a bunch of squirrels running around in your head? It was like that, and then the first day of the medication, it hasn't been like that ever since. It was like that just on the first day, but it was like I could finally see the squirrels instead of them just, you know, running around causing havoc. I had the distance to be able to see each of them and be like, oh, those are the squirrels. And yeah, it was just really weird because I felt like I was on slow-mo. And I would ask Mr. E, I was like, am I like behaving like, am I slow? And he was like, no, you seem to be normal speed. I'm like, okay, I'm normal speed, good. But yeah, there's a lot less trying to find words for it. It's not easy. And I think there's quite a few of us older people, usually. I'm not a youngin. I'm an oldie. I've been making test mixes to find a combination that neutralizes all my paints. Ooh, wow. Sometimes doses need to change. Yep. Oh, there's a bit of a game at the beginning to figure it out, but it... And having a child in the spectrum, oh. What's available now wasn't... seriously. That's just mind-blowing. Yeah, and Laura, this all happened within, our lifespan, which is not a lot of time. Even ADHD. Like, I remember my brother, as a young boy, was a whole lot more... like, for ADHD, they tend to really evaluate it following how it appears in young boys. Like, oh, can you concentrate in school? Do you get good grades? All that kind of stuff. And nowadays we're starting to realize that it's not the only way ADHD manifests. But yeah, it was the biggest barrier for me because I am not a young boy. I am an old woman, last time I checked. So they would ask me like, oh, how were your grades in school? And I was like, but that's like ages ago. And yeah, my grades were fine because I put the effort in studying. It was not like I couldn't do it now. I couldn't focus on studying now if I had to. I was diagnosed with OCD as a teen, and it's always felt like a symptom of something else. So they actually rules. I'm just catching up on chat, sorry. Yeah, I agree with you, Boxer Paint. I don't really... Hey, Paulo, hello! I don't know all that much about OCD, so full disclaimer, that is not my knowledge is fairly limited, but I also have a fair amount of rules, and I wouldn't consider myself to have an obsessive compulsive disorder of any kind, but there are still rules. Like, if you come into my home, you're gonna wash your hands. You're gonna absolutely wash your hands. And if me or Mr. E go outside, we have outside pants, and we also have inside pants. And if you go outside, you wear the outside pants. And if you come back in, you don't wear the same pants you sat in the subway with. That kind of stuff. But I don't feel like it's just stuff that if I don't do it, it's gonna bother me. Also, if you sneeze around me, I will quote myself. I love it. I'm the same way. You also have the inside-outside pants. And I'm so glad that there's finally a lot of support for the autism spectrum. Because it is a spectrum, and it's not one solution will work for everyone. And it used to be really like... You would see the parents really struggle to keep up, not because they don't want to, just because there are no resources available for them to do so. That's just not right. more like people at the store, public transport. I hope you can find something, Lira. That's a lot of people have struggles with employment at the moment, and it's really, it sucks. And yeah, we have a similar like employment agency over here that is kind of it's more of a nuisance than a help, really. I can't tell you the number of times, like between contractual gigs, that I had to go to their training for how to find work. And it's just like, it's not that I cannot find work, it's just that it's the nature of the work itself. Like it's contractual gigs. You, if there's a project, there might be work, and if there's no project at the moment, or if it's all filled, there's just no work. That's just the way it is. I don't need to be told how to make a resume for the 20th time, you know. Inside pants, outside pants are normal. Have you seen? Oh, oh, you guys, you make me so happy. Oh, I'm glad it's not just me. I get so bothered with that kind of stuff. Like, if it's weird, right? Because if like I'm with friends, there will be a red flag in my head who has washed their hands from coming from outside or not. But if they do, I don't care, you know. It's gone. But the stuff like when I see people walk outside with pants that drag on the floor, I just want to die inside. I'm like, I hope you have a bin outside just for those, because those are not coming in. When we were looking for a house, hubby pointed out that I was being rude because I would shake someone's hand and then empty back immediately in front of the person showing us. Oh, you, you're not kidding with that. Although I'm keeping everything under control, I have to worry about money, losing things, wasting time. A lot of those worries are common. I think having a bunch of them, that's when it gets a bit overwhelming. But yeah, it's worth looking into, you know, figuring out if there's a way they could help you. It is kind of rude. I was so done with COVID. Oh, I was so done with COVID. You stay home and I stay home. That was the best. Do you wash your hands coming inside? All the time. My hands are messed up, not only because it's cold, it's because you don't want to. If I have to go outside to see the cats outside, I come in and wash my hands. If I touch anything that's outside of this apartment, I come in and I wash my hands. And you know what? I'm gonna touch some wood on that, but like Mr. E, by now he does the same because he's been with me. He's not. I don't think he has the same concern. Like if he goes other places, he might not do it. But when he comes here and I'm here, he knows me, and he does it. But we don't get sick often, you know. We don't have kids, so there's that. I know kids are a good vector for germs and all of that, but compared to our also childless friends, we don't get sick often. And I think one of the main differences is that I'm really, really annoyed by bringing germs from outside to inside. It's such a huge rule. I have to. Oh, let's come back, come back. Still done with the elbow bump. I would adopt that forever. Same for masking when you have a cold or the flu or whatever else. Like, if you don't feel well, wear a mask in public. That's basic stuff. It's such a huge rule. I have to do it, and I tell my guests randomly to wash it. Same. wearing masks when using public transport at the moment. Yeah. Yeah, we all get it. It really is a spectrum. Two of my boys have autism and ADHD. It could not be more different. Yeah. Hey, Ike boys, hi. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, COVID is not gone. Oh, Leroy, you're gonna find something. Like in those situations that feel a bit out of your control, things that can help, you can try making a plan, like making a budget that might help you, and then to think about ways you might find employment that works better for you. I personally find that having a plan when things get a bit overwhelming has really helped with, calming down and just, you know, taking the moment to have full awareness of where this situation stands. That's something that I personally find helpful. But anything that you think might help you, just figure it out a bit, whether it's talking about it to someone or making lists or preparing a budget, preparing a plan, looking at different but related job options. For the example that I can give of that, it might not be relevant, but I hope you'll be able to see what I mean. But let's say you are a graphic designer. Well, you can work for a graphic design agency, but you might also find work for a medical office. You might find work at a lawyer's. You know, there's a bunch of places, like a bank might need a graphic designer. So sometimes that can be helpful to just think about these. Like if you're an illustrator, well, a lot of places might need an illustrator that are not necessarily, the one thing that you're used to doing. I have COVID. Melissa, I'm so sorry. Oh, Lana. We all got it back in 2022, and Lord, it was awful. Now I take as many. Yeah. Like it's not something you don't want to play with it. I don't understand people being so, nonchalant. How do you say that in English? Nonchalant. Like careless about it. I saw someone recently, and I was really like, I noped out of the situation. But basically, someone was saying that, hold on, they were saying that since they've only had the flu twice in their life so far, that meant that they had a good enough immune system to not need to get the COVID vaccines. Yeah, yeah. I'm paraphrasing a lot, but if I sum it up, that was the gist of it. And I replied to them and I was like, well, I've never had the flu in my life so far, touch wood. And I get the shots because it's not about me, it's about everyone else, The person was like, I've said what I wanted to say, I am not engaging. And I was like, yeah, okay, fine. Great. I bet you're a lovely person. Just writing my troubles out made me cry. Sadly, working in IT with my certain degree and deficiency, thanks to my... It's just not possible. Well, keep your options open. You never know. You might find something that works for you and that you can work from home, or whatever your limitations are. And writing out the troubles, I mean, at least they're there. They're not rolling around in your brain. They're on the paper there in front of you. So you might be able to welcome in new ideas since these are out. You have room for new ideas. You have room for new ideas now. And I need a drink. Of tea. Oh, it's cold. Oh, it's really cold. Ugh. I bought this big thermos carafe water jug thing, and I put, like, when I boil water, I pour my cup of tea and I pour the rest of the water in this jug, and it stays warm forever, and it's been a blessing. If you, like me, like to drink a lot of warm beverages, people think it's gone because they want it gone. Yeah, and I want to win the lottery, but guess what? I've seen some people wearing masks in the supermarket and it felt nice. I feel like when I see people with masks on their face now, I see it occasionally, but I feel like I don't see it enough. That sounds tricky, but maybe they're still... I've had COVID once. Ugh. I also care for my aging mother. Yeah, yep. You're exactly in the, this Venn diagram of people that the rest of us need to get our vaccines for. If you can get the vaccine, of course. That's the thing. Like, sometimes when you talk about getting the vaccine, some people get like, but I can't because whatever. Like real reasons. And I'm like, fine. If you have a medical reason for not being able to be vaccinated, that's why everyone else has to be vaccinated, That's fine. But if your reason is like, oh, but I don't want to mess up my immune system, like, you know what's gonna mess up your immune system? Actually getting COVID without any kind of preparation. I consider being vaccinated like preparation for when you eventually catch it, so that when it gets in there, your immune system is like, oh, we know this thing, we know how to react to it, let's go. Rather than just being like, what's that? And you being on your ass right away. And like with long COVID and all of that, I don't understand how people want to risk it. Like, don't. I know 2% with late COVID. Yeah, the sort of long-term COVID effects, they're not good. What's your tea of choice? Oh, that is a difficult question. Though, I guess if I want to be like general, I think my tea of choice is usually black tea. I really like Earl Grey. I tried one not long ago that was really tasty. Surprisingly so. But it had like tiny chocolate chips in it. And it was just a really good pairing of that specific black tea plus the little bit of chocolate and perhaps some vanilla in there. It was really good. And also, I'm specific about it, but I really like a specific chai tea that is amazing. Sorry. You've never had tea, Laura? Really? husband has had 9 vaccine boosters. I have had 2. Yeah, but you are in a different like situation, right? Than your hubby. I had 2 COVID shots, got sick, and still have issues from getting sick. Have atypical long COVID. Ooh. Not once. Oh wow. I'm kind of impressed, to be honest. Yeah, that's the whole point of vaccines. Val, you're right. That's all they do. That's all they do. Yeah, coffee's good too. I want some green rhubarb. Ooh, that sounds good. I've had a really good toffee caramel. Oh, whoa, that sounds lovely. Those flavors go really well with rooibos. Well, I finished watching the 48 Simtap. I'm glad you like them. They're really fun for, all kinds of crafty ideas. Really, since they're acrylic, like I did the ornaments, but you can do a bunch of things with those. My tea's too hot. Hubby gets letters saying, due to your... We do not know what his condition is. I love a good chai. Oh, seriously. My favorite is from Kuzmi Teas. And it's the Kashmir chai. And it is the best. It is my favorite. It's perfect. It's everything I like in a chai. And then it has this little unique touch of, I have no idea. I think it might be bay leaves in there or something. But it's so good. It's so, so good. There's a Mexican warm corn-based drink of indigenous root called atole that I love, and I wonder what... Ooh, I wonder. That sounds interesting. He gets all kinds of extra checkups and things. And still no clue on what the condition is. I offer you some permanent nectar. Oh, no. I'm so sorry, Lyra. That's awful. Oh, that's good. That's good. Not a Scooby. That's so funny. I'm sorry. I just... Like, what? I will, again, touch wood on this one. So far, in this household, no one has had COVID. Well, as far as we know, sometimes a few years ago, I had a kind of a big cold, and I don't know if it was some sort of COVID, but with like the reduced effect because the vaccines helped, or if it was just a cold. I don't think we had any test at that time, and I wasn't able to test it. But yes, we've managed to not catch it so far. I fully expect to catch it at some point because it's what they call it, what, endemic now? Like it's part of life now. It exists, it's there, and you're probably gonna catch it at some point in your life. But in the meantime, I keep washing my hands, I keep wearing my indoor pants, and I get the vaccines. I also get the flu vaccine because I'm getting older, and why not? They offer both of them at the same time. You get the double jab, and it doesn't cost you a penny because Canada. Thankfully, it's just a nerve in the rib cage. Ooh. Bugs of paint. Neurological? Yeah, neurological late COVID is dark. It really is. I've had my, my brain theory on the long COVID. Not that I'm a doctor or anything, but you guys probably know what it's like to have a brain that tries to see the patterns in everything. And like I've seen a lot of people get permanent changes in their health after having a struggle with a big infection of some kind. You know, like whatever triggered a immune response, then after that immune response got triggered, there were some permanent changes. And I wonder if there's not something of that in long-term in like long-term COVID. Yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. I lost my train of thought. Sorry. It just went boof. You shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. Oh no, Phils. For me, I mean, having to stay inside my apartment sounds lovely, but I understand that's not everyone's cup of tea. Yumi Gucci, hi. Oh, nothing happened. We're just talking about COVID in general. We were unlucky and think we had COVID before it was a pandemic. Ooh. We flew home for... Oh no. So the colors I'm swatching right now, I'm not sure what this one is. It's been a while since these have sat in this palette, so I don't remember what this blue is. But it's a granulating blue, Potter's pink, and a granulating yellow. And I'm just, mixing these for fun as a kind of muted granulating triad of sorts. If you guys have any kind of request regarding mixing or swatching, if I can do it, I will do it, no problem. Watching all the way from Denmark. Ooh! Yeah, it's either a cerulean blue or... It doesn't look like it, but it might be... Oh, I think I have a way to test it. It might be the manganese blue mix from Da Vinci. I'm not sure, but I think I can compare it to... here. Not here. Ah, schmitz. Not here. Where are those? Not half of it. Oh yeah, no, that's not the manganese blue mix. That's gotta be a cerulean blue. I could use a cat for cuddles. Aw. Yeah, these are 3 granulating colors. My cats have disappeared. I wonder where Pickle went. Because she got her spot stolen. Petting cats help me after my... Okay, the cat was also very orange that day, no birds. Oh, gotta love a good orange cat moment. Seriously. That's the manganese blue mix. Yeah, that's really not the same color as the... Oh, it's so pretty though. Manganese blue. I will forever miss you. Manganese blue. Off topic, but I recently saw your interview with Steve and Marty. Oh, that's old. But I'm glad you enjoyed it. Like, oh, that was pre-COVID, and COVID was 5 years ago. How? How? Oh, I'm painting off screen. Am I? Oh, I was too high. Is this better? Am I painting in screen now? Oops. I saw a stray calico cat. Ooh. A sassy lady. Oh, it's gotta be the old one. As far as I know, there's not a new one, Lena. I have 2 votes. Bert and Ernie are such great names for a pair of cats. Never mind, I accent. Oh, that's the kind of thing I would do too. That's why I'm laughing. This is one of my favorite trio of colors together. It's that manganese blue mix from Da Vinci. I think, yeah, that's Yellow Sophie from Sennelier. And Permanent Scarlet from Core, specifically. All 3. I know that the Permanent Scarlet is not a unique pigment, but in my opinion, Core has the prettiest version of it. And Yellow Sophie, I think only Sennelier has PY93, and only Da Vinci has this manganese blue mix that still has a bit of real manganese in it. And together they make a really fun, super textured, neutral color that is really interesting for monochromatic paintings. It is so much fun. It's very brownish in this pan, but if I had a bit more of the blue in it, it's gonna get a bit more gray, a bit more muted. And it's beautiful! I love it! And I don't know what these are, but and there you go. Chef's kiss. Beautiful. If anyone knows if there's a new interview with you, it has to be you. Is a Manul cat a palace cat? A pair of knuckleheads, more like. A manual cat. Sorry. Ah. Yeah, I prefer automatic cats too. What is your favorite? Oh, I don't have one. I couldn't possibly. I can tell you the brands I try to not get any paints from, but as far as having one favorite, it's impossible. Because they don't all offer the same thing, so how do you even wrap your mind around just sticking to a single brand of paint? I cannot. Palace cats are adorable. We have bobcats at home and you shouldn't pet them, but they are so dang cute. It would be it would be worth the maiming is my official stance regarding all big cats out there. I know they could kill me, I know, but if I get to pet a tiger, and I don't want any like of those petting zoos or whatever, that's not cool, not that. but I would consider getting maimed if it means I could touch a big cat. This yellow here is not granulating, but it is Yellow Sophie from Sennelier. Pigment is PY93, and it's not a color that you find within a lot of brands. I wonder if Sennelier is not the only one that has it. But possibly another brand has it, but it's not very common. And the granulating yellow is a Winsor Newton color, the one that uses pigment PY 159. This one is not granulating, it's just very, very bright. And yeah, that neutral mix, and it's starting to, I don't know if you can see the way it separates. Because the red is smooth, the yellow is smooth, but the blue granulates. So you get this really interesting play of orange and blue, which tend to neutralize themselves from afar, but from up close you get this this activity going on, and I just love it. It is one of my favorite mixes. Yes, make different neutral mixes. Well, off the top of my head, I don't have that many that I go to. This is one of them. I also really like, but the thing is that sometimes it takes specific versions of a paint. Like you can get a really pretty mix if you use Sennelier's Caput Mortuum and Sennelier's cobalt turquoise color. I don't remember the name of it, but it kind of has to be these two specifically, because Sennelier's Caput Mortuum is special in that it's really, really just one hue. It's a single hue. It gets lighter with water, but it doesn't change hue at all. It stays the same regardless of the water you put in there. And when you mix both of these, they're both granulating. And if you use less water, it makes for a kind of light valued gray, but if you add water to it, the colors separate, the turquoise and the Caput Mortuum, and it's really interesting. Hey, Sally! Happy New Year to you too. I hope you had a great Christmas. Mendel cats are the same size of house cat, but have more fat and a lot more fluff. They're so fluffy. If we can be friends with them, why are they so friendship? That would apply with a lot of cats. There's a wild cat that's really, really cool. I don't remember the specific name of it, but they're called the Tigers of Scotland. But they're a very small group of feral, like completely feral wild cats that you can find in Scotland. And they're the size of house cats, but they're different than your Catus generic cat. There was a really, well, it's still there, but there's a really interesting documentary on those cats. Sorry. Cassart sells it as Indian yellow. Yeah, that's the thing though. Cassart is kind of difficult to acquire because you have to be in the UK to get it, or, you know, they don't ship outside of the UK. Posted a picture of my cousin's orange prince. Oh, I can't wait to see. What is your favorite color mix? Well, this one is definitely one of them. I'm thinking. It's really difficult because it's kind of like, I like all of them. Or Noah Brit, that's nice. That too, yep. I kind of approach palettes as with a problem solver mindset. So it's difficult because I don't really have favorites just like that. It's more about what you put in front of me and how I can use it. So that's why I always struggle with people like asking, do you have a favorite color? And I'm like, no, it's a matter of what I'm trying to paint, really. Like, if I always think of Lindsay the Frugal Crafter, because I don't know if she still doesn't like it, but she used to really doesn't like chromium oxide green. And I'm like, but I cannot isolate a color like that. Like, I love chromium oxide green. It's not what I would use to paint a lime, let's say. But if I want to paint grass, that's the color I want, because it's this perfect color for grass. You know, when you have a patch of grass that some of the blades of grass are a bit dry, and you know, it's kind of a really natural looking green. It looks amazing for grass. But yeah, you're not gonna be able to paint a, you know, a realistic line with it. It's so difficult. So that's why I struggle with it. I really have this problem solving approach to any kind of palette. So I'm like, okay, what can this palette do and how can I work with it? There's a wildcat species named the margay in countries like Mexico. Ooh, that sounds pretty. I have a castle 2 blocks from where we hang out. Ooh, if anyone ever needs stuff, but most of their watercolors you can find. The mini palette, that's they have the De La Rogne one, like, or it's from the same provider but different branding, right? It's such a nice little travel palette. Though I gotta say, guys, I gotta show you one of these. Check out this guy. It doesn't come with the keychain, but it has the attachment for it. But check this out! Check how tiny! Oops, it's missing. It's it's supposed to have a tray in here. Where did I put the tray? What did I do with it? Oh no! It's so small that I lost a part of it. It's missing its tray. What did I do with the tray? Oh no. Oh, am I ever gonna find it? Oh no. Oh crap. Well, that's gonna be a fun hunt. Google says Margay cat that thinks it's a monkey. Oh, I feel the same way about least favorite colors. There's no such thing as a bad, muddy, ugly. Exactly. Oh, exactly. You put it so well. Hippopotamus. That's exactly it. It's a matter of context. I have the palette. It's so cute. It's so tiny. It's so tiny. Sorry, I'm being excessively loud for no reason, but I was like, and it's well made and it's nice, and you can remove this part of it if you need to wash it. And I was like, you know, it's not crappy. It's decent. 80 watch now. 80. Perfect for tiny cat paintings. Yeah. I have to. Quarter pans fit in it? Oh no. Someone asked where I got the tiny pans that fit in the acrylic palette you reviewed, but we printed them. Oh man. Ah, I'm envious of your ability to customize everything. It'll be in a safe place that you just... Hey, Tori, hi. Hello, hello. Yeah, it is somewhere. But where? Yeah, that's gonna be a fun quest for Ev later on. But yeah, it has a really small, cute tray with space for 12 colors, I think. So And then it has this teeny tiny mixing area, and like this part with the chain and the clip is heavier than the whole palette right now. I thought about buying it alongside some new watercolor tubes. I ordered the watercolors from Marie's. Ooh, I hope you like them. Six quarter pans. Ooh, that's a good amount of quarter pans. But yeah. Yeah. Sorry, my super excited reveal was completely foiled by the mixing part of this palette. It could be anywhere. It could be everywhere. I just, you know, I don't know how I managed to separate it from the palette. What did I do with it? It's not like I put any pants in it. There's sometimes when I think I found it. Are you? Oh, you're the thing. It's here. There you go. That's tiny. I feel like that's the perfect travel palette if you want to do some sort of travel journaling that is not, you know, large paintings. If you want to paint small vignettes of your travels, this is perfect. Like, if you don't plan on painting anything bigger than like this size, perfect. If you want to paint bigger, then you need a bigger palette. But I feel like up to a certain point, like a palette that's half the size of your painting works out perfectly fine. Good thing I have a boyfriend with a 3D printer for when I run out of my medium empty pans. Ooh, that's a good idea. And you could customize all sorts of tray for like full pans, half pans. I've seen people print 3D prints like half pans that have a divider in the middle, so you can have two colors, stuff like that. Small but perfectly formed. Yep. Finding half pans to fit my portable painter palette. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's the one thing I feel like, well, I don't know if they did it on purpose, but I wish they would have kind of made the portable painter that uses generic pans. Otherwise, you kind of have to either get Winsor & Newton pans. I think the Winsor & Newton pans fit in there because they're a bit smaller, but yeah, it's a bit tricky. I mean, we printed the drying shelf for my watercolor refills. Ooh! There are free 3D print files for all kinds of pans and palettes. Oh, don't say stuff like that. I don't have a 3D printer, but I would fall into the rabbit hole of looking at all the options. The plastic is really nice. Sorry. What time is it? Oh, well, I think we're done here for today. I will probably stream on this channel next week. Same time, same place. So it's 2 p.m. EST on Saturdays. Yeah. There's no, the new year is this week. I don't think there's anything weird planned for next weekend. I don't have a printer either, but I yeah, but that's I don't know, knowing the possibilities but not being able to make them a reality is difficult. That sounds like a good idea. Awesome. Yay. All right. So again, if you feel like joining up next weekend, next Saturday, you're always welcome. If there's anything you would like me to do during your live stream, you can also leave suggestions in the comments or on the Discord, or any way you want to. You can message me any way you want to. And I'm gonna tidy everything up now. So yeah, have a great week, everyone. Have a happy New Year's Eve day, regardless of what you do. If you spend it quietly and if you chill, that's fine. If you have a big get together, that's also fine. Just have fun, and hey, we will see each other again in 2025. How cool is that? Yes, have a great weekend, guys. See you in the next one. Bye bye.